a note for international students. You should be finding your circle who is, helping you out, looking up to you, appreciating your every move. And, no one sees that how hard that person has worked to get that job or anything, any opportunity. I realized this so many times. Whenever I was not able to achieve my goal, God opened some better doors for me. So,
I know.
Like if I am going through a failure, deep down I know that this is for something better.
Welcome back, everybody. This is the All of You podcast, the podcast where we sit down with all of you. And today we are extending the olive branch to one of my favorite people. Literally one of my favorite people. Oh my gosh. Robinpreet, how are you? Welcome to the All of You podcast.
Thank you so much, Shannon. I am so happy to be here, finally in this hot seat.
Yes. I'm so very happy. Robinpreet and I have known each other. Maybe I'll get you to talk to the audience about this. How do we know each other? Where did our budding relationship, friendship begin?
Yeah, so this happened when I found a human on LinkedIn.
Yes.
Finally, like a real human. I think I was just scrolling my LinkedIn and I saw your post and I was like, oh, there is a person, not an employer, not, someone searching for jobs. It was like a real human talk, which is missing on almost all the platforms, especially if someone chooses to speak so many things very transparently on these platforms. Yeah, it's so amazing. So that's how we connected, right?
Yeah, it was a LinkedIn thing. So anybody out there who's like, no, LinkedIn, listen, LinkedIn has opened up many, many doors for me. Many connections have been gained, you being one of them. And there's like a group of people here that have even, come from LinkedIn as well. So let the audience know a little bit about you. So why are you here? Why would I want Robinpreet to be in this seat? Why do you think I would want you to be in this seat?
All right. So my name is Robin and I'm from India. Dentist
Where
back
in India?
home.
Where in India?
It's Haryana. Yeah. So I'm from like North India. And I'm a dentist back home, still a dentist. No one can take that work experience, right?
Right.
And I did my studies in healthcare administration and I graduated December last year. And then I'm now working.
Yeah. And so what, we don't have to say like where you work or whatever, but what's your position currently?
It's like a healthcare administrator, in a dental facility.
Nice.
Yes.
So what kind of role responsibilities do you have in that position?
So much.
Yes.
So much on my shoulders. So basically, you are the face of any facility. It's a great thing. You have to greet the patient, sort out different things related to payments, related to treatments, In general, you're the face of that business. Yeah. So
because you're the first point of contact that people see when they walk through the door.
Exactly. And you're the reason then if they're coming back, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So
thank goodness you have such a nice, lovely smile. I think you have the perfect smile for a dentist. Okay. So that's great. So why Canada? Every time I sit down with an international student, I always have to ask, why Canada? Why, when you were thinking of all of the places that you could have gone, you chose here?
Yeah. So specifically, it was never the dream that I'll come to Canada. Growing up, I always had this dream just to sit on plane and, just going somewhere and studying from some other country. Like even now, I don't feel like I'm completely settled here or I just don't want to go anywhere else. If I get a chance, I will travel to different countries. But why Canada? Because my sister is here though, right?
Oh, good. Nice.
Yeah, you get a lot of support, family support. But I was very familiar with the Canadian values and market and everything, I have explored it. When a sibling is already there, you try to do a little bit of research. And I think it's land of opportunities. If you are the one who is ready to do a little bit of struggle, not a little bit though. Yeah.
The struggle is real.
Yeah.
The struggle is real. Yeah.
But it's a land of opportunities. Someone who wants to do things, they will be able to achieve something. Yeah.
If you put your heart and your mind to it, like you have done.
Yeah.
And so I am always so fascinated by you because the posts that I see you put out on LinkedIn are also very heartfelt and genuine and from the heart and not manufactured by ChatGPT.
Yes.
Maybe, okay, so let me be honest with you. Do you ever use ChatGPT for LinkedIn?
Of course. Yeah. Yeah.
Same. But how do you use ChatGPT as a tool to help you with your LinkedIn content?
Sometimes just to, remove those grammatical mistakes. Yeah. And it's like my own story, but sometimes you just need a little bit of power.
Finessing.
Those words, because English is not our, official language. It's a second language.
Yeah.
And it's not like you just copy something from ChatGPT and post it. It's more like learning from ChatGPT.
Yeah.
We are in this AI era. We have to learn AI as well.
Yeah.
So
I've been kind of using it as like a launching point for whatever it is that I want to say. Like if I'm thinking about a post that I'd like to make, sometimes it can be hard to exactly figure out how to start whatever it is you want to say. So sometimes I'll go to ChatGPT and say, I'd like to do a post about this. Like, could you give me sort of the framework for it?
Yeah.
And then I modify it and make it my own and add my own like quotes and, tone and that kind of thing. It's like a launching point. I find.
It should sound like human, right?
It should sound like a human.
If you're taking help from AI, it's like ideas are yours. Sometimes you need ChatGPT for ideas too.
Yeah.
But if you can create something which can be beneficial to large audience.
Yeah.
So why not?
Right?
Right?
Yeah. I see some people online. We know some people online. We won't say any names, but I see some posts online and it's so AI, like it's over AI produced. And that's cringy to me.
I actually feel so sad with the people who post those kind of, works. And I'm like, why are you doing that? You don't need that, right?
Do you think you're actually genuinely connecting to your audience if all you're doing is just posting generic, like sometimes ChatGPT creates these super long posts. I'm not reading them. Like I'm not reading the whole thing because I know that this is not your unique, like original thought.
Yeah. You cannot connect with the audience with that ChatGPT content. You need the real you, right?
Yes.
And especially I think on LinkedIn, it's a professional platform. Let's keep it real, right? Yeah. It's just so sad to see those posts. Yeah.
I know.
I don't follow such people.
As much as I've been dabbling in social media a little bit, but as much as I love it, there's that before we started recording, by the way, everyone, we were talking about how we feel like in a lot of ways we're so disconnected from the human experience. And sometimes, and correct me if I'm wrong, but don't you feel sometimes like LinkedIn is so positive all the time and everybody's just like celebrating their wins and I got this certificate and it's like, what about the hard stuff that happens in professional development? Because if anything, it's harder than it is easier. Why are we not like honestly talking about how difficult it is to be a professional in today's world?
Exactly. They make it sound like a fairy tale while it's not, right?
Yeah.
We don't talk about the struggles. And to keep your profile real, I think you must be talking about that phase as well when you were low. Like I have learned that from you. You are like, you can express your vulnerability. It's a huge thing.
Yeah.
I still cannot do it.
Yeah.
Like when it's so hard to get up from the bed for the work, do things, it takes a lot.
When you fall into the monotony and the routine of just going to the same place every day and having the same conversations every day. Like sometimes it can be a real drain.
Yeah.
And I haven't always been able to speak so openly about how I feel about things. It's not an easy thing to do, to put yourself out there vulnerably. And I have had some older people, like boomer people, who have said like, you can't do that. You can't tell people that you're struggling. It's not going to work. It's not going to work if you tell people that you're struggling. And I'm like, then it doesn't work. But at least I know that I've been authentic and true to myself. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, yes. And I think if you just keep that mask on, that you are not yourself, you will be getting hired by people who like that mask. And imagine wearing that mask for so many months or years, for whatever time you're working there. It's not like, don't hire me, please.
Don't hire me if you want me to be some robotic, inauthentic being, because that will crush my soul.
Yeah.
It'll crush my soul.
Already system is making us work like a robot, right? Yeah. So we don't want to be.
I know. Before we started recording, we were talking about how the system sometimes is, I feel burnt out by the system. I just, it can be very disappointing when you feel like the veil is unlifted and you kind of see the truth about things. This is what I'm struggling with, is seeing the truth about things. So let me ask you another question.
Yeah.
Before you came to Canada, you would have had this idea of what your experience was going to be like. So has that experience fulfilled your dreams? Do you have different perceptions of Canada now that you've been here and you've, acclimated yourself?
So honestly, for me, it's kind of same. Like whatever I wanted to do, I think
You're doing it
good. Yeah. Maybe not like at this, but at this level, right? So I'm learning, I'm doing things, and hopefully with those stepping stones on the way, we'll be here at the top level too, right?
Yeah. Well, you and I had a conversation months back. I remember it very vividly. It was, I always love our conversations, but I remember this one very specifically because you are single.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm also single. And it can be challenging sometimes to navigate how you want to put yourself forward in your career, but then you get pressure from friends and family to be in a relationship. Do you remember this conversation that we had?
Yes, yes.
We were texting about it, and how difficult it can be when you have that pressure, like it feels like time is running out or something.
Yeah. So my family is very supportive. And I'm like, no, I'm going to do things on my own, right? They support it, but I know sometimes it's not practical. Like, let's say if I am just struggling by myself right now, and if I have a partner, things can be easier, but it's not something I want to do, right? So I want to...
It's not like you couldn't have... Yeah. She's beautiful. Like, she's beautiful and charming and sweet and funny and all of the things. It's not like you couldn't have a partner if you didn't... If you wanted one, you could have one, right?
Yeah, this is going to be my matrimonial ad. Yeah.
I'm arranging marriages, so you can come to me anytime. It's another service of all of the All of You podcast.
Yeah. We all need this now.
Yeah. Anybody need a husband or a wife? Call me. I'll help you out. I'll be a matchmaker. So that's great that your family is supportive. They're not like lining up potential suitors for you?
They are not like typical brown families, actually. My relatives are, because, she's 28, it's time to get married and all. They will never pressurize me.
Good.
Because they know that I have that mindset that I am going to do things on my own. Like, it's very easy for me to settle in US or here in Canada if I have partner like whichever they line up for me. Yeah. But it's like, I'm not ready for it yet. So I'm like, take it slow.
I love that. I love that you're self-aware enough to say, I'm not ready for a partner. And do you think that that's because you want to just continue finding yourself and you're like navigating your values and that kind of thing? Is that sort of your decision?
Yeah. I take inspiration from my mom. She is a very strong woman.
I love that.
Who raised 3 kids mostly by herself, and she did so many things for us. And it's just...
Did she work too while she was raising you?
She worked initially, but then we have our own, I'm from agriculture family.
Oh.
Right. So it just, but she manages everything. Yeah. It's very hard.
What do you mean you're from an agriculture family? What does that mean?
Like the farmers. Yeah. So we have our own lands, we grow crops and all that.
What kind of crops? I don't know if I knew this about you.
So I think wheat and rice. Yeah.
Did you work on the farm?
Not work exactly, but I'm not too knowledgeable about that. Most of the time I stayed far from home for education purpose. I'm
Like
glad
private
that
school or something?
Yes.
Okay.
For my school, for my work and everything. But it's just so nice,
Wow.
Yeah.
So your dad is a farmer?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Did you know that according to the World Economic Forum, that farmers are the top job that cannot be replaced by AI?
Definitely.
And it's like the
Yeah.
most fast growing gaps in the workforce is we need farmers because all of these farmers are retiring and farmers' kids don't want to take over the family farm.
Yeah. But I think the job is not easy, Shannon, honestly.
Oh gosh, no,
It-
absolutely not.
It's very tough. You are so much dependent on the weather.
Yeah.
For everything, the government, like we had farmers protests and stuff. So it's just not easy. And they don't make much money in India. Like here, I have heard that farmers are pretty rich
Well,
right?
I mean,
Yeah.
the farming industry is, I could go down a huge rabbit hole of the farming industry. I don't know why, but you can be very wealthy. But like you
Yeah.
said, it's very contingent upon what's happening with the government and what's happening with the cost of resources. And if you
Yes.
have livestock, that's a whole other thing too, because you want your livestock to be bigger, fatter, leaner, produce more, whatever. Like there's some crazy stuff happening with the way our food is produced in
Yeah.
North America and the hormones and stuff that are being injected into livestock. Listen, I'm very passionate about this, obviously.
I was very organic, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't bring you much money, honestly, Shannon. And
Yeah.
the corporate jobs, they earn a lot better. than
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
if you want to be like super rich, you have to own a lot of property, right?
That's what I hear.
But whatever the case, they at least saved money to send us here, right? And
Yeah.
it's a lot. It's a lot for a student.
Yeah.
A lot of money.
So tell me, because your dad is a farmer, did your mom ever work or was she just a stay-at-home mom?
No, she works more than my dad does.
Wow.
She is a boss.
I love that. She's a boss. Hi, Mom, if you're watching. We love
She's
boss
the
moms.
one talking to everyone, how much fertilizer will go in.
So
where
she helps with the operations.
She is the...
I love that.
She's the one.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that you had a powerful, strong female role
Yes.
model.
Yes.
So if neither of them are dentists, why did you choose dentistry?
All right. So I didn't want to go for dentistry at first.
Oh.
I hated dentistry and I was like, anything but never a dentist, right?
I hate going to the dentist, so I would never have chosen dentistry.
Don't say that. You have to come to my clinic.
I'll come to your clinic. You can give me a good teeth
Someday.
cleaning anytime.
Yes. Someday, hopefully.
Yes,
Right?
yeah.
So it's just the way in India it works, like you have to take MBBS or BDS. MBBS is for medicine, right? And then there is an exam which they conduct and it's very competitive. And then there is some reservation system as well. I don't fall under reservation, right? This just makes things worse for people to achieve their dreams. And the private schools are pretty expensive. So I got into this government school for dentistry. And that was good. By third year, then I accepted, okay, I want to do that because in third year, you start with the patient work, right?
Yeah.
And I was feeling good after, just listening to their stories at how they came in with the toothache and now they're feeling better. It made me happy.
Yeah.
So then I was very passionate for dentistry, like.
Nice.
And I feel because during my surgery classes, I saw someone dying right in front of my eyes. Like this person, I was just taking his history and now he's no more. And I was like,
What was
no.
he dying from? A tooth infection?
No. It was the general surgery classes. Sometime we just go,
okay.
yeah, in general.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't want to see this kind of, situation. I'm not good for it. It was so traumatic. And that's how I knew, okay, God opened up the best doors for me. Mm-hmm. And we had a patient dying in the dental chair as well.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah. So
I don't know if I want to come to your dentist's office.
not there, don't worry.
Not there.
Yeah. So it's just I'm so happy that I have this.
So is your end goal or your game to do the licensing to be a dentist in Canada?
Definitely.
What is the process? I don't know if I've talked to anybody about the process of dentistry.
I don't know, for Canada, I am more aligned to the US.
Oh, okay.
Just to explore
Even
another
with
country,
what's
you know?
happening in the world. Oh my gosh, you're brave.
Yeah,
You're brave.
it's just for me that exploring the countries. Like I've studied here, I wanna maybe there or here. I am not still sure of, but the licensing here is comparatively tougher than US. But US it's more expensive.
Oh, how much
So-
does it cost?
Anywhere up to $300,000. Yeah,
Holy doodle! You have
Yeah.
$300,000?
probably have to, I don't know, sell my kidneys or everything. So, yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that you were interested in going to the States. Let me ask you a question though about dentistry in Canada. How do you feel about dentistry not being covered under OHIP?
Yeah, so now they have a Canadian government plan. I think they are going to expand to more age groups. I think it's right now it's below 18 and then above 65. It had changed a lot of things. Like to our clinic, I see patients who were not able to afford the dental care before. They're there at the doorstep. They want dental care. So I think dentistry is going to bloom here in Canada as well if the government keeps on taking initiative for the
Well,
oral
I
health
don't
care.
know. I'm not a dentist, obviously, but I think that I'm not using the right words, but like the biome of your mouth
Yeah.
can have an impact on your entire physiology.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that, dentist.
Everything, like whatever the biome, as you said, we have in our mouth, it's connected to the heart, brain. You will see many of the news coming that they died by some tooth infection. It went up to the brain stroke
yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, maintaining oral health is important. It's just not this mouth we take care of. We take care of the whole body.
Yeah. And you know, it's so insane to me because when I think about all of the patients that I've ever seen come through the hospital, I take one look at their teeth and I'm like, if you don't have good teeth, then you don't have good overall health.
Exactly.
Like there's a direct correlation.
Yeah, your mouth is the mirror of your body.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I have had so much work done on my teeth because I grew up in poverty. We didn't have, for the first like 10 years of my life, we only had OHIP, no additional benefits or coverage or anything. And so when I finally went to a dentist, I had a whole slew of cavities. I think there was like 16 cavities in my mouth because I had never had proper dental care as a kid. And so I was saying, I don't like going to the dentist. It's because that experience that I had to find out that I had all of these fillings and then they did like 5 of them at a time. I had to go back for like multiple appointments and stuff. It was so traumatizing to me.
Yeah. And I think it's very expensive here, the dental care.
Very expensive. Yeah. I mean,
it's very expensive.
I've been lucky to have benefits up until I won't have them for too much longer. But I've been very lucky. So I haven't felt the sting of what a tooth cleaning costs. But if you don't have coverage, what does a tooth cleaning cost?
So the regular cleaning, just the cleaning part, it's like $200.
Okay.
And then you add the polishing and fluoride.
Okay.
These additional things for the hygiene appointment. It costs around $270. So it's...
And then x-rays, how much do x-rays cost?
If you are including the x-rays, full mouth will cost around $200 more. So
200.
Then
before you know it, it's
then an
$1,000.
exam will cost like $184. So if you're gonna have like full mouth checkup, x-rays and everything, it costs roughly around $644. So yeah.
Sheesh, my goodness. Frick, I hope I get benefits again sometime soon. No Easter candies for me. No, I better be flossing my teeth more regularly. My goodness. Well, I just think that it is very unfortunate when you see people come through the healthcare continuum and you take a look at their mouth and it's like the system. We can talk about the system all day long. All right. So now that you've been graduated and you're no longer a student anymore, I'd like for us to talk about a topic that we've commiserated over many a time. And that topic is group work.
Oh my God. Why do you choose to traumatize me?
You posted something on LinkedIn a few weeks ago and you were talking about the value of group work. And I reposted it and said, if you're not going to listen to me, maybe you will listen to her. So why do you think, I'd like to talk to you about group work. Why do you think it's so important that if you're listening out there and you're a student, why do you think group work is so important as a student in terms of your development?
So the group work, I'll just share my experience. In the first semester, we were a good group of 4 doing amazing things. And we know, okay, this is our people and we can score the max marks with them, getting 95 above and everything. Professor knew, okay, these kids are good,
They're the
right?
superstars, yeah.
And yeah, we did everything in just one group. By the time I entered my second semester, I was like, no, life doesn't work that way, right? Real life doesn't work that way. So every time for my every group project, I chose some different partner. And even for the capstone, I didn't know any one person. Like I was just
Wow, that's brave.
Yeah,
That's brave.
Random group added by someone, but that person left the group for some other, and I was like, oh, okay. Then they offered, do you want to come to our group? And I was like, no, it's fine, whatever group I'm into, right? And it always come up with so many challenges. Group work is not easy.
No.
But what you learn from there is how to, just assign tasks. What's your personality? What's your weakness and strength? How are we going to allot tasks based on that? So it made me think that how we are going to do it in the best way possible. Sometimes it was very hard time. Sometimes people don't listen. They have their jobs and everything going on. They don't realize that everyone else has life as well. But it just, for every group, even if people didn't know me, I was the leader. Like
I was just going to say, you organically fall into the leadership role all the time. Why do you think that is?
It's just people know, okay, this person is going to do that, right? And the way you talk, the way you do things, it shows them that. And then they take that unnecessary benefit from, that personality.
Yeah.
But whatever happened, I was happy at the end, like after the capstone as well. I don't know how many times I ranted or cried.
Yeah, I got some voice notes a time or two at like midnight.
Yeah, exactly. But I was so happy things turned out to be good. And I had a very clear idea how my workplace might look like. And I was ready to take up the challenges. Like
when you say what your workplace might look like, that's because you can't control who you work with.
Exactly.
Right? Like you can't control who your colleagues are. You can't control your colleagues' commitment or accountability because that's their own thing.
Yeah.
But if their accountability and their commitment doesn't align with your accountability and commitment, it can be very frustrating.
Yes. So there was this assignment when they talked about what thing you want to improve in yourself. And I was like, sometimes I just listen to people very superficially. Let's say if they're sharing ideas in group, I'll be like, no, we don't want that. But here, this thing I learned from professor, like whatever you say, whatever you answer in the class, they're like, yeah, you were right, but let's add something to it. I love that spirit. Yeah. That is very different from professors in India. Like, it's better you stay short, right? But here, professor make you talk. And it's been amazing experience with all my professor. I love them wholeheartedly. I cannot tell.
You have a good relationship with your professors.
Yeah. And like all of them, I just admire them so much. And so this thing was different, and it just makes you do more work when you are in a group work, but it's like it for some time, and then things get over, you get average or good marks or not so good marks, but life goes on, right?
Yeah.
So, but you learn things.
And can I tell you about your marks? Nobody is ever going to ask to see your transcript, ever. Unless you want to go into teaching, they'll ask you for your transcript, but they don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care about your grades. ASMR, they don't care about your grades.
I know you told me this so many times,
not to diminish your effort,
course.
not to diminish your effort. But I think if you're somebody like yourself who's a high achiever and you're so fixated on that 95 and above, that you beat yourself up when you don't get that, and it's like, chill. You don't need to have 95 and above on everything. Because guess what? The world is run by C-level students.
Exactly.
You know?
I felt that. Yeah.
The world is run by C-level students, and us high achievers who overthink everything and want to be perfect in everything that we do. We are overthinking so much that the C's are not overthinking. They're just doing. Or, I don't know, maybe not doing, but it's something that I've had to acknowledge is like, there are people who are way less committed and way less accountable than you who are way more successful than you.
Yeah, I have seen people like who have failed courses, but they are so practical and so good here. Like me, I overthink so much. And the pressure from the very beginning, like, that, oh, you have to score more than 90. Your relatives are going to ask about your schools and grades. Yeah.
I mean, I was the same in primary and public school, but once I got into higher education, I never studied in primary school. Like everything came very naturally to me. So then when it came time for higher education, I was like, I don't know how to study. I didn't know how to study. So I really struggled in higher education. But that perfectionism, man.
Yeah.
If that was a full-time job, I would be the CEO. That overthinking, it certainly weighs on you.
Exactly. And if I just think if I'm scoring below 90s, it's like, oh, I didn't do good. But
you have like you're attaching your worth to a grade.
But now I have realized this thing that it doesn't work out that way in real world, right? And my mom, for my first assignment while I was in Conestoga, and she said, how much you scored? And I'm like, Mom, never do this to me again. Never ask me.
Yeah, my parents were the same. Oh, that's good. Why not 95? What do you mean, why not 90? You're planting this in my head.
Yeah, and then I told her, I'm doing good, but never do this to me again. It's all done. Yeah,
everything's
right?
good, Mom. You don't need to worry. Yeah, you don't need to worry. Wow. Yes. So maybe we'll do some talking points, because sometimes these talking points end up going a lot longer than we ever imagined. So on the All of You podcast, we do talking point cards, and sometimes we go on deep rabbit holes when we have these questions. So there's 3 themes. There's generations, resilience, and support. Which theme resonates with you?
Resilience again?
Resilience?
Yeah.
All right.
Especially it's purple, the box.
Yeah, we love purple around here. Do you want to we'll just pick a purple card. Oh, here's the categories, actually. Let me read you the categories. So there's 5 categories. Mm-hmm. Getting to know you.
Yeah.
Goal setting. Self-care. Mm-hmm. Connected relationships. Or self-reflection.
I think self-care.
Self-care?
Yeah.
All right. Self-care is red.
Which we never do.
Never do. Preach it. But I picked a red one. Can you see the red there? Just grab one card from the red section. Perfect. Do you want me to ask you first, or do you want to ask me first? I haven't even read the question yet.
Can I change it?
Yeah, you can change it for sure. I've never had anybody ask to change it. You could totally change it if you want a better one. You like that one better? Okay. Okay, you ask me first. How about? I haven't looked at mine yet.
Okay. So what helps you when you are in an emotional funk? Now we are talking.
What a question. Now we're talking. Yeah. Oh my God. What helps me when I'm in an emotional funk? I'll tell you.
Yeah.
The one thing that I have learned in the last couple of years is the only way out is through.
Yeah.
The only way out is through. Because sometimes when I fall into an emotional funk, it's like, pick up faster, like feel better faster. And then I beat myself up if I'm in a really low, we were just talking about this before we started recording. There are sometimes I can't even find the energy to move from the couch to the bed. Do you know what I mean? So when I'm in that funk, or at least what I'm trying to do now, I have an incredible therapist, and I've put a tremendous amount of work into trying to understand myself and my neurodivergent brain over the last few years. And I think for me, it's just trying to give myself a little bit of grace and to be kind to myself, because I'm really not kind to myself when I'm in those low moments. So I need to get better about self-care. I know that's the theme of this question, but I definitely need to get better at, when I'm in those funks, forcing myself to go out and be amongst people, because I identify as an introvert or an ambivert, and it can be very easy for me to retreat and isolate and just not want to be around people. Yeah. But then I find as soon as I am around people again, then I feel like the fog starts to lift. So I don't know. For me, it's giving myself grace, the only way out is through, and spend time with people, even if it's just one-on-one. My therapist even said, like, if I'm feeling especially low, she's like, don't go and spend time with friends. Just go to a coffee shop. Like, just go and be amongst human beings, put on clothes, shower and put on clothes and go and be amongst human beings.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I can isolate myself into the deepest, darkest depression hole. And then it takes even longer to get out of it.
Yeah, but I think the first step, just to get up from the couch, it's so hard.
It is.
It's so hard, and it takes days, right?
Yes.
To just go to that cafe.
Yeah.
Or even, it's so hard.
And I know that you've struggled too with your mental health and maintaining positivity. Like, sometimes you just don't want to be positive.
No, I don't like
Or
being
it's
optimistic
just-
all the time.
I
It's
know.
not possible. It's not.
So, and then people are like, look on the bright side, find the silver lining. I'm like, there is no silver lining.
Yeah.
Like, today, there is no silver lining.
Especially when you want that gold lining.
It has to be gold too, right?
Yeah.
Platinum. Yeah. There's no silver lining sometimes. And yeah, I don't know if that's a good enough answer, but I guess my bottom line for when you're in a funk is to understand that there is no timeline.
Yeah.
You can't say, oh, I'm going to be better in 3 days, because you might not be better in 3 days. Like, it might be 7 days where you feel like you're in a funk. So I have definitely wrapped my brain a lot more around everything always works out.
Yes.
And when you find yourself in this funk, usually what I've done is created an imaginary story in my mind about whatever something is happening. And then, you know, after a couple days, when the fog starts to lift, it's like, okay, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. And I catastrophized that situation. And I have to probably apologize to a few people. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly. Yeah. I think at that very moment, like, you have to acknowledge your feelings. If you're feeling sad, upset, down, whatever, you have to acknowledge that, okay, this is me right now. I cannot be...
write it, speak it.
I cannot be happy right now. That's fine. But we're going to get over it, right? Maybe it will take few weeks, few months. But just keeping that thing, okay, there will be a good day if I'm going through these bad days. And like, when you look into the past, you had these big problems and you always thought, oh, okay, now no one can save me. But
Yeah.
you were saved.
Yeah. My therapist explains depression is worrying about the past and anxiety is worrying about the future, and you can't control either of them. So it's like, when you stress about the past and the future, things that you have no control over, it's like you're double stressing about something that's not even happening. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
This is scary.
It is scary.
Yeah.
And I think there's also, in the culture and the society that we live in, because we're so inundated by the highlight reel on social media, like LinkedIn, when you're seeing all these people, I got this certificate and I'm happy to announce that I got this job. And I'm like, fuck you and your job. Like, fuck you and your career. Like,
Yeah.
sorry, pardon my French, but like, sometimes I don't want to see that you had a certificate in QuickBooks. Like, I don't know. It's a jadedness, I think, that I fall into sometimes, that I have to check myself with sometimes.
Sometimes it's annoying, right? If sometimes we don't have all those things, it might be like you come out of like a little bit of jealousy or something,
Yeah,
right?
It's definitely jealousy. It's definitely jealousy. We did an episode. Sham's here, by the way, guys. She's just behind the camera this week. So if you hear us talking to somebody behind the camera, she's here. Remember our episode with Liza? I don't know if she said this quote, but she had some pretty profound quotes. When I think of her, a quote that she's used with me is, comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah.
So if you're comparing yourself to other people or other people's circumstances, you're sacrificing your joy and wasting that energy on jealousy or resentment or jadedness.
It's a very human thing though, right? And it takes a long time to just realize that you have to compare yourself just with you, not other people. Like back in the time, if I talk about myself, yes, I will get jealous, like if someone is scoring more than me or they have something which I dreamed of. But right now I'm like, the only challenge is me. Like if I want to do things which my heart is saying, okay, you have to do this. You have to be better next time. Just that I don't see anyone's, if they are successful, I'm happy for them. Like things have been changed. Like,
oh man, I feel that deep in my bones. Like I feel like if you can uplift other people, this is just become within the last couple of years for me is like, I feel so much reward being able to uplift other people. So much.
It is so rewarding. I must have shared those messages. Sometimes I just start talking with people on, bus stops, waiting for buses and all that. I just start sharing random knowledge, which I have with navigating Canadian job market, because I know how a newcomer's journey looks like. It is very difficult, Shannon. It's very, very difficult. And I have got these messages like, thanks. That was the first time someone reached out to us for helping us out, or I wish I would have got that message when I was starting here in Canada, right? And it feels so beautiful. And it's like, you think I'm an extrovert, but I'm not. And then I want to just, I want my me time. But I feel if I'm talking and it's helping out people, I talk. And it's so hard for me. Mostly people think I'm extrovert, but I am not.
I know everybody thinks I'm an extrovert too. And I'm like, no, every time I have to be an extrovert, I need 5 days to recover from it.
Exactly. Like at the end of the day, just leave me, I cannot talk.
Oh, I know. And that was a really big challenge for me in my long-term relationship, because I would be on all day as a professor. Like, you're standing in front of a classroom of people and you work 12 hours, like you taught 4 lectures that day, and then coming home, it's like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to be around you. I don't even want to open my mouth. I don't want to hear you. Like, it's my time to decompress and shut my brain off and doom scroll and whatever it is that I need to do.
But it's really hard to shut off as well. This stupid brain just keeps
not
running.
saying that my brain never shuts off, but at least I don't have to like be on anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Being on is so exhausting.
Exactly.
Very, very exhausting.
Like, my mind is so hyperactive. Like, next thing, what to do? Next thing, what to do?
I know. And it's like, when you achieve one thing, you're not even able to bask in the glory of that thing that you achieved, because you're like, what's next?
Yes.
I'm good. That was fun. What's next now? Thank you.
Yeah. So in the last semester, it was so hard because I was working at 2 places, then doing my assignments and everything, right? But then when it was all over, and I was like, oh my God, I feel empty. Right?
Yeah.
Your brain is habitual to the stress, and without stress, you're stressed.
Yeah.
I don't know how to control
We're
that.
addicted to it. It's a dopamine thing, right? Because when you're stressed and your adrenaline is running, like you get a high, I think, off of the stress.
Yeah.
And certainly cortisol levels and stuff. Like, in the last few years, I've lost a ton of weight because I was literally operating in like fight or flight, stressed chaos mode. Multiple jobs and not sleeping and, working nights and then going to lecture and then working a shift and not sleeping for 36 hours. Like, my whole equilibrium was messed up. And so I had put on a ton of weight. And ever since I've like stopped operating in that way, I've lost like 35 pounds.
Oh.
Because cortisol, right? Like, I think you struggle opposite.
For me, also, it's the weight loss.
Yeah.
Because if I am upset, like these days, I told you that I don't feel like eating. It's like, oh, you want to throw up as soon you see food, but you have to eat. I just tell my mind, okay, girl, you have to eat. That's why I'm eating. But now things are better. Everything is going great. I'm trying my best. So it's feeling much better.
Yeah. I sometimes I will have the restricting, but for me, food is comfort. And so when I was stressed and not sleeping properly and whatever, I would not eat all day, but then eat like 3,000 calories in one sitting, which is also not good for you. And then fall asleep. You know what I mean?
Yes, got it.
Yeah. So bad. So bad. Actually, this is a funny story I've never told on the podcast. Back in the day when dinosaurs roamed the earth, I like, if I had gone out partying or something, like, you go and get a snack after you party, I would go to McDonald's and I'd call this the boyfriend special, where I would order 2 meals and pretend to be on the phone with my boyfriend. And what kind of pop do you want? Oh, okay, you want a number 6 with pop? And then I would get 2 meals and pretend like they were for 2 people, but they were both for me. And then I would just give the pop to a homeless man on the street as I was walking home with my 2 McDonald's meals. The boyfriend special.
Oh, you fear being judged by the society for eating.
Yes. I thought that if I ordered 2 meals to this teenager working at McDonald's, that they would think she's obese. And I was going home to eat 2 meals, but it was comfort. It was comforting for me, you know, and I get dopamine off of, and the sugar and all that stuff too, right? That's a whole other thing.
The sugar, it's really hard to give up on sugar.
Yeah, no, stress and work-life balance. Holy doodle. We preach it. We preach self-care. Take care of yourself. Your mental health is important.
Nobody, it's not easy. don't say take care to me when I'm like upset or I'm down. Don't
ask me how I am, because that's even worse. Like, don't ask me how I am, because I want to be an asshole and tell you that the world sucks and everything's awful. And so I don't know. I'm trying so very hard to just look on the bright side of things, and every other day is different. Every other day is different, but anyway, that was a good one. See, we go down these rabbit holes of, this is, we already know the answer to this. The question is, do you ever struggle with self-sabotage?
Yes, I am. Like, if I am doing...
Overthinking.
Yeah, if I'm overthinking and I just don't know how it starts. Like, I'm overthinking, I'm doing things, but I feel I'm not enough. And that is like kind of painful. And at that moment, I cannot take care of myself. It's not possible. I just wait for the time. Yeah, I criticize myself so much, even for doing good things, thinking that I'm not good enough. But now things are getting better as I'm aging, maybe.
That frontal lobe is fully developed. And what is that even? I'm not enough. Where does that come from, that we tell ourselves we're not enough?
It's just sometimes we have those goals and we don't achieve those in that time frame, right? Mm-hmm. Like, let's say I want to be a dentist, but I'm not a dentist in next month, right? It's going to take like 2 years or so. And
I struggle deeply with that. Things don't happen fast enough.
Yeah.
And then you think that you're on this path and you think you know what you want to do, but then the universe pulls you in a different direction and different opportunities come up, right? So you've created this pressure in your mind for this image or goal that you've set for yourself. And if it doesn't go the way that it's planned, you beat yourself up, but then an opportunity comes along that you didn't even see coming.
And that is the best. Yeah.
When that happens.
I realized this so many times. Whenever I was not able to achieve my goal, God opened some better doors for me. So,
I know.
Like, if I am going through a failure, deep down, I know that this is for something better.
Yeah. I have to believe that. Yeah. I'm in a wicked transition right now, and I just have to believe that everything happens for a reason and not self-sabotage, because like you can go, down these self-deprecating, I'm not enough and I'm not smart enough and I'm not capable enough and I'm not old enough or I'm not wise enough or whatever. But it's like, you can be anything you want to be. You can literally do anything you want to do.
Yeah.
I've been saying that to the little podcast girlies that I've been working with, the little Gen Alphas. I just say to them, we can do whatever we want. We can literally just do things. If you want to do something, you can do it. As long as it's not illegal or like, crime and I've been saying to the girls, like, I have this huge inflatable flamingo, like pool, like beach thing. It's huge. It's like 6 feet. I want to literally inflate it in the middle of the loft and like sleep on the flamingo in the loft and like record content on this huge inflatable flamingo. Like, you can just do things.
Yeah.
You can literally just do things. And you can just start a podcast. Like, it's hard. It's very hard. But you can just do things.
Now I'm just thinking, why don't we have inflatable
we should. Yeah, we could.
Yeah, right?
We'll get a clip. We'll get a clip of the inflatable flamingo. It's enormous. I'm going to have to move some things around. But yeah. Self-sabotage. I am trying to move away from that very, very much. Very much.
Someday. Hopefully.
Someday. Every other day is good, I would say.
Yeah.
Oh,
like today?
I've never read this. There's a little quote on the side of this box. It says, I wish that someone had said to me that it's normal to feel lost for a little while.
Yeah.
I wish that someone had said that to me. it's normal to feel lost sometimes. You don't need to have it all figured out all the time.
Exactly. Someday we'll find ourselves.
Someday I'll accept that.
Yeah.
Today is maybe not the day. What? Google.
Oh my God, Cham.
Okay, so we do another segment on the show called The Olive and the Pit.
Okay.
So the olive is the best thing that's happened to you this week, like just the silver lining, the platinum, gold, silver lining, whatever the best thing of your week was. And then the pit is the pits, like just the down in the, like whatever, dumps, not good thing. So, Robinpreet, what has been your olive for the week and what has been your pit for the week?
All right. So I think the best thing happened to me was there was this patient at the office, and maybe they were just observing me. That was like a very old couple in their 80s, 90s, right?
Yeah.
And when they were done and they were like, we were just looking at you. I don't know how you manage these so many things, but you're very graceful. And I was like, you know, they are the wisest people for me now, and they have a lot of experience. And if they are saying that, I should be grateful to what I'm doing right now.
I don't think we as humans acknowledge each other in that way enough.
No. And we don't acknowledge ourselves, Shannon. Like, it's so hard. Like, we sometimes don't see those things that way, right? It was so nice. Then they brought another patient just because, this girl is working there, and they got another patient as well. And I was like, okay,
yeah,
that was beautiful. Especially, I love those old cute couples.
I love them too.
How did you do that?
I have such a heart, like they're on my heartstrings. Those little cutie little old couples. Yeah. I love that they were so intentional about pointing something out for you. I'm very intentional about that too. Anytime I see something that I admire in someone, I make a concerted effort to tell them.
Yeah.
I like your shirt. You look very pretty today. Like, not in a creepy way, but like I just try, because I just don't think that we get seen enough by people.
Yeah.
And when I say seen, it's like not just me looking at you and thinking, oh, that's a nice outfit, but like thinking it and then telling the person.
Yeah.
Because you just don't know that one nice comment that you give somebody in the day. Like, even if I'm just walking down the street and I see a little old lady and she's put all of her effort into her outfit, I'll say, you look really nice today.
Yeah.
And they just like light up, and you know, that
I love
response that you
Yeah.
get. Oh, I live for those. I live for those moments.
Exactly. And we talked about like they don't make you seen enough. That's how we can talk about the system, right?
The system not seeing us.
Sees you.
Yeah. Does it though?
No.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't sometimes feel, and like, listen, I don't, people probably hate that I'm still talking about this, but like, it just sometimes feels like when you're working in the system, you just become a cog in the wheel, and you're just, you know, the people that you're working for or the people that you're working with, they don't acknowledge you or even prioritize you as a human. You're literally just somebody filling the line on a schedule so that there's a body in the building.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's so weird. I cannot imagine myself like for long, you know, working with those kind of
imagine
people.
it either.
Yeah.
But
we have
you're
to work.
not going to do it for long. No, you're going to become a dentist, but you're also going down maybe a little bit of an entrepreneurial route, aren't you?
I think, I'm just discovering that part of me right now. And I have started a website. This is Atomic IELTS. And this is basically to help you out with your communication skills. Like, IELTS is our English proficiency exam, which everyone gives here. While, you know, even after graduating from the Canadian college, we still have to give it. Like,
I bet you I couldn't even pass the IELTS. Like,
don't say that.
I've been speaking English my whole life. I don't think I could pass.
You're going to be instructed on the website.
Like,
don't say that.
Soliloquies and stuff. Like, do you have to know all of the different types of English language? Like, what do you get tested on with the?
It's the 4 parts: the speaking, writing, reading, listening. So that kind of exam, and then they just see that if you match the standards, you know.
Okay, so maybe it's the we have to do this in grade 10. There's an exam that we have to do. I can't remember what it's called, but it's basically an equivalency exam just to make sure that you know what you need to know. So they do that in grade 10 for us. It's not called the IELTS, but it
Yeah.
sounds to me like
I didn't know they do it with you guys as well.
we have to do it in grade 10. Yeah. It's like an assessment. I think you have to do it in like grade 4 and then again in grade 10. So they're like making sure they're doing checkpoints along the way to make sure that you have, the right.
Then I'm okay if you guys are doing as well.
Yeah. It's not called what you guys have
Yeah.
to do, but it is like an assessment to make sure that you've learned what you need to learn.
Okay.
So what you want to do with what's it called? Sorry?
Atomic IELTS.
Atomic IELTS. So what is it that you want to do with that? How do you want to help people?
So as a newcomer, I have that link for sessions there. Like if there's any newcomer or an international student and they want to navigate the job market, sometimes I feel I would have got that knowledge in my initial months, right? So just kind of mentoring them. And then the other part is the main thing, Atomic IELTS, just to help them with those English exams. Yeah.
Because you started the English club at Conestoga.
Yeah, that is the
Talk to
extended
me
part.
about this. I can't believe we didn't lead with that. Okay, so what, I always forget the name of it. It's like English as a Second Language Club?
Upgrade English Club.
Upgrade English Club.
Yeah.
So what was that all about? How did that even come to be?
That is the best thing happened to me here, honestly, Shannon. When I came here initially, I was in the class. There were mostly our people, Indians there. Not like I'm complaining, but it just made me think then, how is it different from India if I'm not exploring the culture, if I'm not connecting with people from different countries?
Good insight.
I am not getting that exposure to the English language, right? I don't
Just
want to
your
talk
teachers,
in
not your
local
peers.
language, right?
Yeah.
Just to the teachers. So then there was my neighbor, very friendly neighbor. He was talking to me one day, and I was like, I understood just 70% of it. What did you talk about? Like, right? And then I got to know about these student clubs, which are by the amazing Conestoga Student Inc., CSI. And there I told them I want to do this, and we even got the most engaged new club award in just 2 months in the leadership conference. So that was a big change. I got to meet many amazing people. I have made very nice friends through this club, and many other people have made the friends through the club, like Chirag, Hajira, Saad.
Love those
Adrian.
guys.
Yeah,
Sarthak, Shakila. They were part of the
they are part of IT club.
IT club.
Yes. So these are some student clubs, and I think it's a great way to just get into those leadership position, or just being as a club member. You see how you do things. Like Chirag here was a club member, and he's so hardworking. He's the one who doesn't want to be in spotlight. Like, he's sitting right there.
Yeah, I asked
just
him if he
listening
would
to
be
us.
on the podcast. He's like, I'm not a podcast person, but I'll be there.
I thought he's going to be there, right? He's a great listener. Will do all the background work.
Yeah. And he's so positive.
So positive.
Yeah.
And will let people stay in that spotlight,
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like, bro, you should be talking more, because visibility is so important. Unfortunately, it's important.
It's hard. Oh my gosh, it's so hard.
Yeah.
Especially if you are an introvert, or like you are a more behind the scenes kind of person, to put yourself out there, it can be uncomfortable.
Everyone says that introverts have their own power, but it's not easy for them, honestly.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So clubs, I love this. So Upgrade English Club, CSI, IT Club. Why, if anything, would you say that being a part of a club or going out there and attending events at your school or in your community, why is that so important for an international student?
Because here we have no one when we come initially. We have to build our own family. We have to be part of community. The more you connect with people, the more you learn things, right? Like Saad is there, Adrian is there, they are Canadians, right? We can learn the culture from them. We can learn what mistakes we are making while communicating, right? And it finds you people, these clubs. And also professionally, on the professional side, you get to know how to organize the events, what can go bad in the event, how you should be prepared for it. And it just naturally builds up that leadership kind of thing inside you, or even collaborating in teams, right? So I was part of Rotary Club, that is Rotary International. This is the, the non-governmental organization in so many countries.
Be a part of that too. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
A colleague of mine invited me. She's a part of the... Sorry, guys. She's a part of the Rotary Club, and she's invited me to be a part of it. So I agree. I think the Rotary Club is amazing.
Oh, the clubs are overall amazing. It was so fun. I was their social media manager first, and then I was the club advisor back in India. We used to do lots of fundraising events, organizing marathons, related to mental health as well. It's a taboo in India to talk about these things, right? And the child abuse and everything. So we did a lot of event. It naturally builds up that quality in you, which is required in real world.
Yeah, so absolutely. I think that's a very beautiful message, is that community and being involved in your community is something that, as Canadians, is also something that have to do from when we're in early childhood. Like in early schooling, you go to nursing homes and you like sing in front of old people and you like read books to old people. And when you get into high school, you have to do a minimum of 40 hours of volunteer work in your community, and you have to have the hours signed off on. So our school curriculum teaches us from a very young age to get involved in your community and give back, and,
that is actually very nice. I didn't know about it.
It's
like mandatory to
you can't graduate high school if you don't do your hours.
Wow.
Yeah, you have the 4 years, your 4 years of high school to do the hours. So it's not like you have to do 40 hours in like one day.
Yeah.
But the idea is that by volunteering and learning, as a young person, that it'll help you figure out what you want to be when you grow up.
Exactly. That was what I was thinking. Sometimes we just explore new things about ourselves while doing these things.
Yeah.
We never knew, I can do this.
Yeah.
Right?
It was literally the thing that got me into a nursing home, because my mom was an administrator in a long-term care home. In grade 9, we have something called Take Your Kids to Work Day.
Yeah.
And so you go to work with one of your parents.
Yeah.
So I went to work with my mom. My dad works in the trades. So probably should have gone into the trades now that I think of it. But I went to work with my mom.
Yeah.
And that was in grade 9. So I was just 14, and I liked it so much that she created a job for me because she was in administration. So she was like, you're going to be a laundry student.
Oh.
And you're going to come and you're going to fold laundry, and you're going to pick out old people's clothes for the next day and like hang it on a hanger on their closet and like restock incontinent products. And I had a 4-hour shift 3 times a week.
Oh, look at you. You got a job at 9 years of age. Wow.
At 14, I could be hired. So I was working before that.
Yeah.
I had a paper route, so I delivered newspapers.
Yeah.
I was a babysitter. I babysat everybody's kids.
Oh.
And I cut grass with the lawnmower.
Okay.
So I started working at 11.
That is actually very different. Back home, we don't do part-time jobs.
No?
We don't.
Your
we don't
parents
have
just bankroll you forever?
We are just the leeches sucking blood out of our parents.
Suckling of the teat forever and ever.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just when we are studying, we are just studying. When you do masters or, do your doctorates.
No wonder you're all so smart. All you have to do is focus on studies. That's it.
Yeah,
oh, wow.
It's very different here. That's why the newcomers, they face this challenge of, doing both things. And trust me, when you're studying and when you're working, like people here, the newcomers, they are working because they have to pay bills. They have to pay fees, which is like 4 times of local student, right?
Stupid.
You have to do a lot of things. So they have to work, right? But this is very different. And I think working those odd jobs, like server in restaurant or wherever, it builds so many skills.
Character. Yes. It builds your character, and it builds your ability to communicate and build rapport with people.
Yeah.
Even though those jobs suck.
Yeah.
Those jobs are not fun jobs. But the idea isn't that you're going to do that job forever.
No.
You're just going to use that job as a launching point, as a launching pad.
I think that's where many of the international students, they don't realize that they have to get out of this trap. Bro, you are here for just brushing up, polishing your skills, and then just step out. Don't stay in that cage, right?
Yeah.
Just few weeks, few months, and then okay, you can do something better. So,
I've had some people say to me, "Oh, I just work at Subway." I'm like, nope. You don't just work at Subway. You are the CEO of sandwich making. Let's talk about all of this transferable skills that you can gain from working at Subway. Time management, critical thinking, resources, team leading, communication, transferable skills, I think is a gap as well, where international students sometimes struggle to be able to articulate how their skills can meet the needs of the new system that they're in.
Yes. So I think that is the best way. If someone is coming as a newcomer, they should definitely be doing such kind of jobs before thinking that, okay, I'm going to get into the field jobs, right?
Yeah.
Because you get that experience. Like when I was a server, like I got that confidence. I can talk to anyone, right?
You have great communication skills. Yeah.
I doubt that.
No,
but I'm just working hard on it. Yeah. So
you don't start the English club and not have good English speaking skills. Come on.
By that, I just realized that someone told me that, okay, you yourself are making mistakes. Like why did you start this club? And I'm like, just to learn, I have no PhD or no master's in your English language.
You want to know what's so funny? Like I spend so much time talking to people with accents or like with people that English is not a second language. I don't even pick up on the mistakes that people make anymore. Like I'm so deaf to it because I'm so used to talking to people that don't have English that have English as a second language. So when you say I'm making so many mistakes, I'm like, no, you're not. You speak so well.
Yeah. But we always think we are not enough because when I'm talking to you, I have to just translate it in my head.
Right. How many languages do you speak?
I speak 3 languages.
3 languages. What are they? English?
Hindi and Punjabi.
Hindi and Punjabi. Okay.
Yeah.
No French.
Little bit of French.
Okay. Un petit peu. Okay. And Spanish.
Comment ça va? Ça va bien.
Merci. Very good. Spanish, if you want to go to the States. Spanish is like the top language.
Well.
Like Spanish might as well be the primary language in United States, Spanish speaking.
Yeah. I was trying to focus on French for now.
French and Spanish are very similar. Yeah. It's like the verb conjugation and stuff is all the same.
I love Spanish songs though.
It's so romantic. And I totally get that for sure. Oh, I don't know how long we've been talking, but I feel like I could talk to you for 100 more hours, but I know our listeners usually check out at around an hour and a half or so. So maybe we'll have you back again. I would love to have you back for every season. I think that you're such a joy and a bright light in the world, and we just need more genuinely lovely people like you. Or I need to just surround myself with genuinely lovely people like you all the time.
Everyone needs you. Trust me, Shannon, everyone needs you.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. It's that whole imposter syndrome thing.
No, but like you were never my professor, right? But
that's a weird thing.
You have made that great impact on me and maybe like on a million people someday. Yeah, I know that for sure.
One of my notebooks that I keep notes in, I have 17 of them. You gave me a notebook as a gift. And in the notebook, you said, you're going to change millions of people's lives. And I didn't know that you wrote anything in the notebook. I saw the notebook. I was like, oh, that's so cute. I didn't open it. It wasn't until like months later that I opened it to start writing in it that I saw that note that you left me. And I was like, she's so sweet that she thinks that I'm capable of that.
That was true, right? Deep down, you know it.
Well, not yet. It hasn't been millions of people yet, but maybe like thousands. I've definitely touched the lives of thousands of people at this point.
Yeah, and those thousands are like millions.
You've touched thousands of lives too.
No, come on.
You have. And you're going to just continue to flourish and grow. And I can't wait to see where your path takes you, because you've done everything right. Even though it might feel sometimes like you're lost. Yeah. We just need to check in with each other and remind each other that it's all working out in divine timing and planning. And we can't try to over control things so much. We just have to lean into the flow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I will just share my last message for the newcomers or international students. I relate to this topic so much that I think this is a good platform to share some of the points, right? So as a newcomer, we all face those days when we are just, down. For like initial 2 months, it was so hard for me to get up from the bed. I was applying to like thousands, hundreds of job every day, not hearing anything back. But then we realized something. We realized we are applying in a wrong way, that we are not customizing our resume. We are not working on the interviewing skills. First, to get a job, you have to, get your resume, go through the whatever ATS system. I'm sad that the machines are reading this, but it's okay. The humans cannot read through the thousands of resume, right? But it's very important to use the keywords, whatever experience we have. Like if I had experience as a dentist, I have got many transferable skills which I can use for applying to any job, right? The customer service and the dealing with payments, time management, problem solving, everything. So better don't hide that experience. Don't put fake experience. I've seen.
Oh, don't put fake experience. Holy doodle, please don't put fake experience.
Yeah, I have seen people on LinkedIn putting fake experience.
Yes, we have, but the reality is those people that are putting fake experience, not, you can have the best ChatGPT created resume on the planet, and maybe somebody invites you for an interview. But if you show up for that interview and you don't represent your resume, that interview is as good as trash. Like you're not going to get that job. Yeah. So people are tailoring their resumes to getting an interview. Yeah. They're not thinking about the fact that getting the interview is just the beginning.
Yes.
There's the actual interview then that you have to show up for and be able to then speak to the resume that you've created and how the resume makes you the best fit for the job.
Exactly. So I fixed my resume and then applied for jobs. That was a good thing. I was, I was getting replies back. I gave some interviews, got rejected. I was like, I was happy that I'm getting interviews. And, once you get into the habit of interviewing, it just opens up more doors for you. And after every failed interview, I'll just, send them an email. Okay, I want feedback. Sometimes they will just give that unnecessary feedback. So I think self-reflection is very important. You should not just say, oh, I was wrong, I did this thing bad, all things happened because of me. Sometimes you don't know their situation. They have some better candidate, or, someone was working for them already. It was someone they already knew, right? They're going to choose them. But what you can do from your end is improve your interviewing skills, and then hopefully you'll get the best opportunity, right?
Yeah.
I've seen people who had no jobs initially, but they got really good jobs, right? So we have to be patient.
Please be patient. You have to be patient.
Yeah.
Nothing good comes easy.
Yeah.
The things that are worth it, the things that are hard, it pays off in the end. It really, really, really does.
And I think while being a student, you can experiment a lot. Like now's
your time. Yeah. Now is your time to make mistakes. Like now is your time to explore all the things and have all the conversations, and don't feel like there's any kind of timeline or, you know what I mean? Like
if you're not able to find a job, just look for volunteering opportunities. You will gain that experience, which will be useful for your job next time. And, you'll connect to professionals.
Yeah.
But I have heard this as well. Okay, I was volunteering with this particular organization for a long. I didn't get a job. So you should not have this in your mind that you're going to get job through this volunteering. No, but you're going to get skills which will help you out to get the jobs, right?
I tell every class I've ever taught in however many years I've been teaching, every single class, I will say, if you are not volunteering, you are losing out. And again, going back to Canadian curriculum and growing up as a Canadian citizen, like if Canadian citizens are told to be giving back to your community and to be volunteering and, to be putting yourself out there in a giving, community type of way, then as an international student, you have to think, okay, well, if Canadians have to do this, then I should probably have to do this too, because you're going to take away skills and contacts and confidence that you might gain from that experience.
Yeah, I think through volunteering, you get those skills. And like for myself, I never got a referral. I never asked for a referral for whatever I got, right? But I just used skills I built through the volunteering. I met so many amazing people, Shannon, I would have never met if I was just sitting idle on Sundays and Saturdays. For my first 2 semesters, I was out everywhere doing community cleanups, meeting people. Yeah, so I think the student time is the most important time. You can experiment. You can discover new things about yourself.
Yeah.
And it takes time. It takes time to find opportunities, especially when we are doing assignments and everything. One other thing we can talk about is asking for jobs from professors. That's very annoying.
Oh my God.
I know.
Please
Get started.
stop. Please, as I love you guys, I love you, but please stop asking me if I can get you a job. Like, you're the only person that can get you a job.
Yeah.
I can't get you a job.
Yes.
Like, I can direct you to where you can find one.
Yeah.
But sometimes even the job market is so bad nowadays, you can know all of the people and still not get a job. The only person who has, you know, the power to get you a job is you making the right connections.
Yeah.
And the, you know, timing is everything too. But yeah, how you go about asking people too, it shouldn't be an ask. Talk about that. When you're messaging people, what's your approach to messaging people?
For what, like?
Like if you're just trying to make a contact with someone, or back when you were job searching, your message isn't going to be like, hey, can you get me a job? Like, what would be your approach?
Yeah, so definitely not using ChatGPT message.
No.
Yeah, if I feel that this is the field I want to work in or I look up to, I just tell them that I'm here to connect with you, just to see your journey and improve myself. Right? I don't ask them for a job. It's very important to build a repo.
Yeah.
Right? And it's not always for a job. It's sometimes you meet good humans to that, right?
Yeah.
And why would someone give you a referral when they don't even know you?
Exactly.
And, yeah, like people think that they're obliged to, you know, reply to those ChatGPT messages.
Yeah.
That, oh, why didn't you reply, right? Because I don't answer to generic questions.
Yeah.
Like, what do you expect from me?
The only messages that I respond to now are personal messages where people say, I watched your podcast or I saw your post and it really resonated with me. Not like, hi, I'm a student from your classroom and I'm looking for an opportunity. Can you help me get a job? I'm not even going to respond. I don't have time to respond.
I have a question. How many messages you get? Because it's like 500, 600 students per semester, right? Like,
it depends on the semester, but I was teaching anywhere from 350 to 500 a semester.
Yeah.
Every 4 months, a new batch of 300 to 500 people.
Yeah.
And I can truthfully say, maybe of 300 to 500, maybe 10 people stand out as superstars to me.
Yeah.
Because they're going the extra mile to make a connection.
Yeah.
They're making the effort to speak to me after class or in between breaks, or they send me a message on LinkedIn, or, you know, after the class ends, they'll post something on LinkedIn. Like, not very many people do that. Not very many people make the effort for those interactions to be meaningful. It feels very transactional in a lot of ways. Like when somebody's messaging you looking for something, it's like, I'm looking for something too. You know what I mean? Like, so it shouldn't be transactional and like, what can you give me? It should be, how can we work together?
Yeah.
How can we collaborate? What could I learn from you? What, you know?
Yeah.
Not so like, can you get me this thing? Can you get me a job?
And if I just get into your shoes, it's opening up like thousands of messages for that. It's just traumatic, right? Like everyone is asking for the same thing.
So when I first started Olive Branch in 2023, my original thought was resume and cover letter development, that I would help people with resume and cover letter development.
Yeah.
But then helping people with resumes and cover letters, I realized that it was so much more than resume and cover letters. And I was getting so many messages from people that I was feeling overwhelmed, and then thinking to myself, it's not going to matter if I edit your resume and cover letter, because you're not going to pass the interview even if you get one. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Then I went down a rabbit hole, overthinking, thinking, oh my God, this is not it. Like resumes and cover letters is not it. And then I was getting all these messages and I just couldn't respond to people. And in my mind, I was thinking every single one of those messages that I don't respond to is somebody that's struggling. And then I was feeling guilty that I wasn't helping enough people. And we talk about the importance of your resume and cover letter, but it's so much more than your resume and cover letter.
It's just the first step, right?
Just the beginning.
A step should be good, but
tip of the iceberg. The whole other journey to your professional development, your resume is literally just a ticket to get you into the event.
Yeah,
that's it.
It cannot get you a job if you don't have good interviewing skills or that kind of experience.
Yeah, right? And the ability to relate to people.
Exactly.
And the ability for you to make people feel comfortable around you and at ease in the conversation, and not like, you know, if you're nervous talking about yourself, that's another thing. Being able to talk positively about yourself and what your successes are. Yeah. We can write them out all day long and put them in a cover letter, but to be able to confidently talk about yourself.
Yeah.
It's so hard to talk positively about ourselves because we spend so much time beating ourselves up.
And it's so hard to teach someone that, you know.
Yes.
It's just someone who is not willing to work on themselves and just expects from the other person, right? Like, I had a lot of friends when I got the job and they were like, oh, you got so many jobs and something. And then I realized that this is not my circle, where my celebrations are not appreciated. So this also, like, for a note for international students, you should be finding your circle who is, helping you out, looking up to you, appreciating your every move. And, no one sees that how hard that person has worked to get that job or anything, any opportunity.
Yeah. Like, when that post goes up on LinkedIn, like, I'm announcing that I got this job. It's like, what were all of the things that you had to do before you got that job? You know what I mean? It's like, we're not capturing that whole long journey and the number of failures and the number of rejections and the 7,000 applications that you had to fill out. It's like, we're only seeing, I got a job, not this was everything I had to do to get it.
Yeah, exactly. For the outreach ambassador job, which I had on campus, there was that beautiful international office team. Oh my God, my heart is there. And they were like very supportive. And I got like 3-4 interviews for on-campus jobs. And I was like, there was this one particular job I was so crazy about. Oh, I want this one. I related to the most. But then I realized, like, God opens up best opportunities for you. I got this international student ambassador, right? I was talking to like 150 or 200 students, like, for 3 days, at least in a week. And I was getting to know so much what people think. Trust me, Shannon, 1% of the people, like 99%, they didn't know what are the college services. And then they tell the college services are so shitty, but you guys are not even using it.
No.
You guys are not working on yourself. You are criticizing the diploma program Canadian colleges they have created. Personally, myself, I wanted to go in university doing some masters in public health. Why I chose the diploma program? Sometimes the master is expensive. You cannot afford it.
Very expensive.
But it's up to you how you use a program. It's not like a program will 100% give you success. It's about what you learn from that program. I have listened to so many people saying that, oh, I chose this stupid program. Oh, it's okay if you have chosen that stupid program, but there's something to learn, right? So being positive about what you have now, we have all those dreams of coming here. When you get those, you just point out those, negative things and don't realize this is someone's dream you're living for. So I think whatever program are you in now, it's okay if it's not something you align with. You get to learn things and do next whatever you want to do, right?
And all the programs are changing. Like, all the programs are changing. Programs are getting canceled. Like, the whole education system is going to be flipped on its head with what's happening with international student enrollment rates. And yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what happens with higher education in the next couple of years.
Yeah, I'm
very,
excited
very
too.
interesting.
Yeah.
It's needed an overhaul for many years, I think.
Yeah.
Especially post-pandemic now with online learning and virtual learning. No, are you the kind of person, like, if you had a virtual class or something, like, did you feel like you got the same experience out of a virtual class?
I don't like virtual classes, but that time I'll just keep my camera off. With the rest of my classmates, they always turn off the cameras, but I'll turn on the camera.
Oh, you're an angel.
I am that kind of person.
You're an angel. I have spent so much time of my life just lecturing to black squares on a screen with a white name across it, and just, is anybody out there? Like, is anybody getting my jokes? Like,
it keeps me awake, because I know that is not like human-to-human interaction. There is some AI system working. I mean, there is this machine system working in between, right?
Yeah.
And the professor is there, right? I'm like, I feel
so desperate sometimes. Like, I'll ask a question and nobody will answer, and anybody out there? Are you alive? And then somebody will put something in the chat, and I'm like, oh, thank God, somebody is alive. Like, somebody is awake right now. Not that my lectures are boring. My lectures are not going to put you to sleep, but like, some of the content theory is boring. So, not every lecture can be
Yeah, exactly.
Song and dance and, the most entertaining.
I don't even like that interviewing system through online interviewing system. I don't like that.
I don't like online interviews either.
Yeah,
Ugh.
I was interviewing for one of the volunteering position, and they were like, "Do you wanna come here, or you're okay with online?" I was like, "No, I wanna come. I wanna go there." And that was my first interview. Imagine, for the volunteering position. And I connected to them. I got some opportunities to them as well for being a keynote speaker in youth sessions.
Amazing.
So it just leads to more opportunities, I guess. Just doing things in the right way.
One thing leads to another thing, leads to another thing, leads to another thing. Yeah. You have to have faith in that. I think you really do.
And it's like there's a Nike's tagline, "Let's do it," or right?
Just do it.
Oh, okay, just do it,
Just
right?
do it, yeah.
So that is my motto for life. Like, I was so nervous while doing this podcasting thing.
Are you
initially.
kidding?
I know,
You're a
right?
natural.
Yeah.
You're a natural.
Yeah, I'm pretending maybe, or
Masking
but
a bit.
I'm ignoring the cameras actually. Yeah, that's helping out. But I think it's up to you. If my heart is saying, "Robin, don't do it," I will just, I'll do
Your
it.
gut instinct is very, very, very powerful, especially women.
Yeah.
Our gut instincts are very, very powerful.
Exactly. So there were those challenges. Like, I was like, "Nah, let's not do it. But I said no. Whatever your heart is saying no to, you have to do it.
Yep.
So yeah,
that's
that
the
works
universe
for me.
whispering in your ear that you need to do that thing. Yeah.
And I had big fear of public speaking. Yeah.
Again, you would not know that at all.
Yes. So I overcame it while I was here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had this surgery for my cyst under my tongue. After that, I just stopped getting on stage because it was different, right? But here, when I came, I assumed that I'm this confident person. Like, you have to assume
Assume
things.
the role. Yeah.
And deep down, you keep working on it. So this one book, what was that? Atomic Habits.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. I have it on the
Yeah,
shelf somewhere.
I love that.
Yeah, it's a good
so
one.
there was this example there that if you have quit smoking, right? If you have quit smoking, and then if someone else is offering you won't say that, "Oh, I quit that." You will just say, "I don't smoke." Right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of difference between two statements. So you have to assume that, okay, I'm a different person. You have to just leave the past, and you keep on acting and actually doing things then.
Yeah, my friend Liza would say that life is a game and you have to show up. Like, you just show up to life.
Yeah.
Show up to life, play the game, meet the people.
Yeah.
And everything is
Shannon.
meet me. Come on the All of You podcast. If you want to practice your English, this is a good way to have a conversation with somebody and practice being able to talk about yourself and what you're interested in. And anybody, you can reach out.
Can do it.
Would love it. Yeah, I would love to have you on the pod. All right, I think that this is a good note for us to end on. You're such a joy and a pleasure, and I'm just so happy that you're a part of my life and a part of Olive Branch, and that I finally got you here because you work 100 hours a day, every day of the week. I've been trying to get you on the pod for months, but it's just so lovely to get to spend some time together. And I'm just so excited to see what the future has in store for you, young lady.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I was waiting to meet you because of the purple hair. Love your purple hair and all of you.
I love your purple socks and all of you. Awesome. Everybody, this has been the All of You podcast. If you could please like and share and subscribe and comment and do all of those things that help the algorithm. We are going to spend the summer really leaning heavy into the podcast and SEO marketing and all of that good stuff. A fun, exciting thing. I'm actually going to the Apple Podcast studio on May 5th, or not studio, Apple Podcast headquarters in Toronto, May 5th. So leaning really heavily into this podcast thing, loving every second of it. We've officially passed 25 episodes, which means that we are operating in the top 10% of podcasts in the world.
Wow.
Because most podcasts fail after 21 episodes, or most podcasts fail after 3 episodes, but there are not a lot of podcasts that make it beyond 21 episodes, and we've done it. So yay. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Check back in next week, Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Our episodes drop, and we have content on TikTok and YouTube and LinkedIn and Instagram and Facebook. You can find us everywhere. Olive Branch Mentorship. That's it, everybody. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.